City Stand.
Since 1st of August 2024, Nigeria has been gripped by nationwide protests against bad governance and economic hardship, with protesters largely comprising youths marching across several states, including Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Despite President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Sunday morning national broadcast on August 4, 2024, appealing for an immediate end to the protest and offering dialogue, organizers, including the Take It Back movement, Youth Rights Campaign, and Creative Change Center, have vowed to press on, stating that the president's address failed to address their demands. The protests have been marred by clashes between protesters and security forces, with tear gas and gunshots fired to disperse crowds, arrests made, and reported lootings by hoodlums in several northern states. As the situation continues to unfold, respondents share their opinions on the president's address and the ongoing unrest.
Let us call a spade and not just a garden true. We are just being fooled. I used to tell people from my own research that Nigeria happens to be a business that has been laid down. For every individual who comes to the office, you just assume the office either as a manager or as the MD, you cut your own share of the deal, and once your tenure or your period of employment is off, you take off, and another person takes over. And the power of incumbency is not even helping the country, because if I am in that seat and I'm bringing my godson to come sit in the seat, definitely he will cover up some of my flaws so as to ensure continuity. So at this junction, all I just want to say, to paraphrase everything, is that the president, from my own point of view, didn't really consider the masses. All he's after is his own agenda and execution of plans to attain, quote and unquote, like I will always say, their own selfish interest.
And don't you think his agenda will be of benefit to the masses?
If you say his agenda will be of benefit to the masses, him as an individual, from the way he talks sometimes.
Because he said subsidy is gone. That's what he said initially when he assumed office.
Yeah, removal of subsidy.
The removal of subsidy. The day he was sworn in, he said subsidy is gone and gone forever. He still repeated it on Sunday.
Now, subsidy,
in his address.
Subsidy is gone and gone forever. Now, if you want to take out something, let us be sincere to ourselves. It's an habit. It is something we are used to. It is not what you will just take off all of a sudden. It's not a miracle. It needs to come through a gradual process. If you are taking off subsidy at a reduction rate, it has been subsidized. Let us take, for instance, let us use percentage. Now, if it is from 70%, you reduce it to 50%. From 50%, it drops to 30%. From 30%, it drops to 10%. From 10%, it drops to 0%. That is gradual. People will adjust. Once it's at 20% off, which is 50%, people will adjust to that 50%. As soon as they are adjusting to that 50%, you take it to the next 30%. And you know, from 30% to 20, from 20, the last one won't even pinch, because we already know there is an adjustment. Brother, even growth, development is a gradual process. It's not something you just take off an individual. It's just like wanting to come down from an upstairs, and instead of taking the staircase, you're pushing the person off. That is what the president is doing to the masses. In all fairness, the subsidy and everything grew over time, from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. So it should be taken downwards until it gets to a 0. That is what I feel. But taking it off and saying it's off forever, it doesn't really affect him. Does he buy fuel? It doesn't. They are living on allocations. Funds, resources, name it. The country is in debt, yes. Senators, people in political offices, check how much they get on a monthly basis. Salary, which is their take home, and allowances. If you do the breakdown, my brother, if we have a little bit of, weight shared from those expenses, Nigeria will be a better place. The truth is this, which is my own conclusion for today, is that we have everything within our power to be great. It is just individual greed and selfishness, or quote and unquote, like I would say, a particular group of individuals wanting to enhance and immense profit to themselves just because of its nearest future that is affecting the public. That is, minority wanting to monopolize resources affecting the majority, which happens to be the masses. Emilokon, yes, it's my turn. But the question is he going to merge Nigeria to make us great, or is he going to break us? Because from the way it is, we are heading towards something that we least expect.
My own personal thoughts about the protest and agitation, I think is actually very needed. It is needed that people call Mr. President to order, that people let their grievances
be heard,
be seen, be known. And there's no better way than to stage a protest. Thirdly, on his address, which is about the major thing.
Okay, yeah.
His address, it's a bit funny to me, and it will be a bit disrespectful to say Mr. President hasn't said anything. So I don't want to be disrespectful. So I would say that he has spoken, but he has not spoken well. I heard him and I could read his countenance, even via the speech. He didn't address the issues precisely. He only gave account of what he had done from his day one in office. And if you ask me, I still would say that was a poor account. He gave a poor account of what he had done. Now, if I say it's a poor account today, it's because the results of all he said has not materialized. So the poor account could turn out to be a good result tomorrow. But as of today, all he said are just talks. Now we can begin to break it down one after the other. Now we will break down his administration one after the other, but we cannot break down what he has said as against the protest, because he didn't really address people's agitation, which made them protest. But to his administration and to the things he said, he talked about the CNG initiative and all of that. And it's quite funny to me. Nigeria is a very funny country where you cannot pick one problem and analyze it completely. One problem leads to another problem. The second problem leads to the third problem. All of them are interwoven. Then he talked about a few things that he has done in the past 1 year. I'll be honest with you. Speaking on behalf of a whole lot of people, then putting at the forefront what I know and how I think it should be. He himself said it, we should not pity him. So nobody has a reason to defend him. Nobody has a reason to cry more than the bereaved, because the bereaved himself said, don't pity me. In fact, in the words of some people, they said he's been preparing for the past 30 years. He himself said, I have been preparing for this position for close to 30 years. Now, this is the result of 30 years preparation. If my kid takes 6 months to prepare for an exam and she fails, she deserves to be spanked. How much more a man who claims to know this thing very well, and he said he's been preparing for this position for 30 good years. I will not say Mr. President needs to be spanked, but the agitation of people and the protest is enough to let him know that he's not doing well enough, or he has not done well enough.
First and foremost, I would like to say that the mistake the president made started from his first day in office, his first day of inauguration, and you know the people you're dealing with, and you should be very, very diplomatic with the way you talk to the people. You came the first day, you want to hit the ground rolling or running, like you said, and even though we know you didn't announce it that way, but for you to have said subsidy is gone, you know the kind of people you are dealing with. So I do not expect you to just make such statement. So the statement alone actually destabilized the economy from day one. So you can't say you're governing a set of people and not understand the psychology of these people. One, that first of all has made the president lost his balance and also puts the economy in the current state that we are right now. Because let's even put that aside. I want to talk about this current protest that is going on. Yes, because we've always had issues from previous government being carried over to the next government, and the current government will always blame the previous administration. So this current administration, we know it's an offshoot, it's a product of the past administration. Should have learned even before it came to office that, okay, these are what I should address, and these are the preventive or proactive measures that I need to take to tackle any economic policy that I lay down. But I do not think the president and his people, his advisors, have such measures on ground, because you can't just come and be giving palliative measures when the people shout alone. Take for instance, you're giving us rice. Is rice the only issues we're facing? Rice, I'm sure before the president came, for me as a person, I bought the rice for 25,000 naira per bag. Now as I speak, rice is 95,000 naira, and rice is just a very mega part of what is affecting the economy, of what is affecting the masses. See, and I still learned that the president has some good policies that will keep the economy running. See, any policy that is not people-centric, that people do not feel in the first 6 months or the first 3 months, it is a it's a failed policy.
Not even first year in office.
Not even first year in office.
Talking about first 3 months.
Yes, first 3 months. Because you know the kind of people, they're already suffering. They're already feeling the impact, the negative impact of the Buhari
past
administration.
Government.
Yes, I need to be specific. The Buhari administration, which is your product as a president. We know how you necessitated the fact that this man came to presidency. So you should have learned that, okay, this kind of people I am dealing with, they need special treatment.
City Stand.